This is VOA Africa.
Good evening, I'm Esther Githu. It's Friday, June 21st. This is Africa 54.
Mauritania prepares for a historic handover of power as voters head to the polls in Saturday's national election. Who is to blame for the unrest in Mozambique's northern province of Cabo Delgado? We'll have a report. And the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations kicks off. We'll have a live update from Cairo.
We begin in North Africa, where Mauritania is set to hold its first national elections on Saturday without an incumbent leader since the 2008 coup. 6 presidential candidates held their final campaign events on Thursday. Although many opposition candidates have strong support heading into the poll, some voters are worried that the Electoral Commission may work in favor of the ruling party candidate. VOA's Isha Sarai reports from Mauritania.
Presidential hopefuls in Mauritania are turning their attention to Saturday's national elections after finishing up their campaigning on Thursday. 5 candidates are hoping to defeat the ruling party candidate, Defense Minister Mohamed Ould Ghazouani. The main opposition candidate, Sid Mohamed Ould Boubacar, says that the country needs change that will not happen if Ghazouani is elected.
I think there needs to be a true changeover because the state today of my country is catastrophic. The economic situation is extremely serious, as are our societal problems.
Voters, particularly young voters, are mobilized for the elections as they see the race as wide open. But many are concerned about transparency and are wary that the Electoral Commission could favor the ruling party.
Ruling party candidates have all the means of the state, money, support of the administration to help them. We saw this twice with Abdul Aziz and now with Ghazouani.
Among the issues most important to voters are education, unemployment, and divisions in the country.
We must choose a candidate based on something, not just on ethnicity, on our community, but also on the basis of who we believe can direct our country, who can fix the problems we as the youth and students face.
I think that what is most important for the youth is employment and education.
But whether voters are motivated enough to unseat the ruling party will be determined by Saturday's vote. Isha Sarai, VOA News, Nouakchott.
The U.S. State Department says worldwide there are 25 million people suffering from forced labor and sex trafficking. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo recognized some of those who are fighting against the exploitation. VOA's Dile Diko has the details.
Secretary Pompeo says the international community must harness innovation and ingenuity to prevent trafficking and identify and empower those who have survived it.
Human rights trafficking is not a natural disaster. It's caused by man, and therefore we have the capacity to solve this.
The 2019 Trafficking in Persons report also recognizes those who are working to combat these crimes, including Nigerian Roslyn Iguabor.
You don't have a particular victim. Every case is vulnerable. The most important thing is trying to know the real way to handle the situation. So particularly for me, if I am here today, is to give honor to the women who were able to get back their liberty. So the award is for the women.
Iguabor works for the International Organization for Migration to promote victim-centered human trafficking screening and protection.
They are particularly migrants because they are women that are being recruited from their various homes, their various countries, due to social problem, economical situation, not having the possibility of continuing their schools, their studies. And this makes them more vulnerable to people who try to help them, but they are not helping them, and they are recruited to be brought to Europe for sexual exploitation.
Iguabor's work in Italy focuses primarily on West African women trafficked to Europe.
The most important thing that we should focus on is on reintegration of our women, reintegration of the victims, No woman is happy to be a sex worker. No woman is happy to be there. We should help them to get back their dignity. We should show them what is called love, real love, not love for money. We should make them to realize that they are important to the society. We should give them an opportunity for the light inside them to shine out. And we should try to heal the wounds that they have inside.
Secretary Pompeo says some countries are making progress.
The report commends those countries that have taken action, nations like Senegal, as well as Mongolia, the Philippines, Tajikistan, and others. But we also call out those nations that aren't doing enough. Tier 3 designations, the lowest possible designation, were given once again to China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, Syria, and Venezuela, among others.
This year's report also includes countries that recruit and use child soldiers, including Afghanistan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Iraq, Burma, and Yemen. Dili Diko for VOA News at the State Department.
At least 300 people have been killed in Mozambique's northern province of Cabo Delgado since late 2017. The attacks have been blamed on Islamist fundamentalists, frustrated miners and youths, unhappy with resource distribution in the country, which has one of the world's largest natural gas reserves. The culprits and their motives are unclear. VOA's Amancio Vilanculos reports.
International researchers met in Washington earlier this month to try to understand the causes of the attacks in Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province. They concluded that government authorities have mishandled the situation.
The Mozambican government has been responsive, but I think they've been overly heavy-handed and counterproductive. And the way in which they have done detainments, extrajudicial killings, the lack of transparency, these are things that are going to exacerbate the problem, not solve it.
Some soldiers also told us that they had received orders informally to eliminate the enemy because taking them to jail was pointless and it costed the state a lot of money.
The U.S. Embassy in Mozambique's 2018 Human Rights Report cited complaints of abuses, including arbitrary or unlawful deprivation of life by security forces. The U.S. government is among foreign aid contributors to Mozambique, supporting security, development, and peace in the region.
The goal for this approach is to address governance and development issues and provide increased training to build the capabilities of Mozambican security forces.
That requires openness from Mozambique's government, says former U.S. diplomat Dean Pittman.
They have a tendency to be secretive, and this only builds greater distrust and among local population.
Some experts say the government's lack of transparency could fuel violence as locals fear they will lose their lands to companies engaged in natural gas exploration. Mozambican historian and researcher Yusuf Adam urges fair compensation for seized lands.
Actually, only the poor see their land expropriated, and in exchange, they get very little pay. And many know about that. Many problems were created and have to be addressed.
Alex Vines of Chatham House in London says potential gas revenues in Cabo Delgado raise public expectations and dissatisfaction. Though President Filipe Nunes comes from the region, Vines says his administration hasn't met poor residents' needs.
That shows just how disconnected Mozambican elite politics is with what's happening at a more grassroots level. Mozambique is the weakest state in southern Africa. That's my view. It's a very fragile entity.
Vines also says the insurgents in Cabo Delgado should be seen as a regional threat because some suspects might come from neighboring Tanzania, led by John Magufuli.
Now, a broader problem is that it's really difficult to do research in Tanzania. Under the Magufuli administration, even more difficult than it was.
The June 6 conference took place days after the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for attacks in Cabo Delgado. Analysts said the claim required further investigation.
That was VOA's Amancio Vilanculos reporting. Now, security is tight in Egypt as dozens of Egyptian police and armored vehicles are deployed around Cairo International Stadium on Friday for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Egypt plays Zimbabwe at the ground where Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi is expected to attend. The stadium has been rarely used over the last 7 years since strict controls were imposed on football crowds in the country. Heavy security is expected for the month-long tournament, which follows quickly on the heels of turmoil in the ranks of the continent's Confederation of African Football. Now, for more on the matches ahead, Africa 54 sports reporter Sandy Shomari joins me live via Skype from Cairo, Egypt. Good evening, Sandy.
Good evening, Esther.
So what should we expect later on today, Sunday, between host Egypt and Zimbabwe when they hit the ground?
Esther, this city right now is full of red. If you call something red, come to this city right now. The whole country is ready for this wonderful historical event whereby the team, the Pharaohs, who are opening tonight with Egypt, this is their day and this is their night. Because once you win the first game, you make the statement for all the remainder of the tournament. And tonight, Egyptians are ready for Zimbabwe. They're all dressed in red. Lines are pretty long at the National Stadium in Cairo. And I tell you what, Esther, there's a lot of meat getting eaten tonight because people are getting together because soccer is bringing people together, ready for this wonderful game tonight, which is historical, Esther, just to tell you.
Right. Sunday, I can feel the mood is so great. I wish I was there. But now tell me, well, what do we look for this weekend? What are fans betting on? Which teams will be playing?
I'm telling you, Esther, apart from Egypt, tomorrow is another game whereby DRC will face Uganda. Our brothers close by in East Africa, these are all East African brothers. They will be hitting the ground tomorrow, and it's going to be one of the greatest games that you can see because Congo has a lot of very good players, as well as Uganda has been very good in the past years in East Africa. So this is one of the duels that most people are waiting to see. As you see this year, Esther, more East African teams have been featured in this 2019 tournament more than the previous years. And also, Esther, it is historical because there are so many teams. We have 24 teams this year competing apart from other tournaments. And also, Guinea and Madagascar will be playing tomorrow. But on Sunday, our brothers in Burundi will be playing Nigeria. That's one of other very interesting tournaments because it's the very first time for Burundi. This is a new team coming for the first time in African qualifiers to play to the 2019 AFCON. So it's going to be a very interesting weekend, so to speak, Esther.
I can't wait to hear all of it, whatever happens on the weekend, the whole month of June. And Sunday, security is tight in Cairo. What else have you seen around the streets of that huge city?
As you say, security is tight. And so are the people enjoying themselves because security is so tight, they feel very comfortable. I'll tell you, Esther, last night at Tahrir Square, by 11:30 at night, going towards midnight, you could see children, ladies, gentlemen, old and young, people from all walks of life, walking the streets, enjoying the food. And the food is meat, shawarma, and also others smoking shisha, and also walking down the Nile River. This is where so many couples, so many friends, so many families spend time. And the boats are lighting. It looks like Christmas in June, Esther.
Oh, Sandy, you are our eyes in Cairo. We look forward to hearing from you soon. So do our viewers around Africa and the world. Thank you, Sandy.
Yes.
All right.
You're welcome, Esther.
Sandy Shomari is Africa 54 sports reporter joining us live via Skype from Cairo, Egypt. We're excited to hear what you think about Africa 54. Join the discussion on Facebook. The address is Africa 54. We're also streaming our broadcast live on Facebook, so be sure to watch and share our show with your friends. Also, check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com. Still to come, new music from Zambian dance hall duo. We'll be back.
I am am Sheikha Sali, host and senior editor of VOA's international call-in talk show, Straight Talk Africa.
Today we'll examine the tobacco industry.
We pretty much touch on anything that you can think of. Politics, health issues, human rights issues, you name it, we talk about it. The issues that we discuss are pertinent to most people on the African continent. A very, very rare and unique opportunity to interact with their leaders.
The lyrics could be French,
English,
Portuguese,
Bantu,
Arabic.
It is the beat.
The African beat that counts.
The beat does all the translations.
It cuts across all languages and gives us the understanding that this is the African beat.
It is so distinct
and adhesive.
It binds us together.
African Beat on the Voice of America. For more information, visit our website at www.voanews.com/AfricanBeat.
I'm Clara Frank, and here's what's trending. Despite being born without her right forearm, 19-year-old car lover Kinga Vavro has not let that stop her pursuing her chosen career. Her classmates at a technical school in Jaroslav, southeast Poland, have used their tech know-how to design and 3D print a prosthesis for Vavro to help her achieve her dream of becoming a car mechanic. The prosthetic arm is the result of a project between Vavro's classmates and the E-Nable Foundation, a global community of volunteers who use their 3D printers to create free arms and hands for those in need. Vavro's lightweight prosthesis comes equipped with a flashlight and magnets for holding screws to help her when fixing cars. Thanks to her new arm, Vavro has been able to pass her practical exams without needing help from her teachers. Next up, a farmer has invented the answer to the woes of traditional tree climbers of southern India, who risk their lives to pluck nuts from areca trees. This simple machine weighs 28 kilograms and runs on a 2.1 brake horsepower engine. The brakes are hydraulic, and the machine can support a weight of up to 80 kilograms. Southern India's coastal state of Karnataka is a traditional belt for areca crop. However, it is difficult to climb the 50 to 100-foot trees to pluck the nuts. The process has become costlier due to the lack of traditional tree climbers. Farmers need to make appointments with the very few that remain, while facing the risk of monsoon showers spoiling the crop. And finally, police in Southern California are turning to technology to fight crime by deploying a robot out on the streets to keep a watchful eye over public areas. Equipped with 36-degree video cameras, Huntington Park Police will deploy HP RoboCop to monitor and surveil areas such as parks and city buildings. The robot will then be able to relay video footage from its cameras to police headquarters in order to facilitate fast and safe responses from police officers. HP RoboCop will also be able to roll down sidewalks and recite phrases to members of the public, such as, "Excuse me," and "Good day to you." And that's what's trending today.
In several tweets on Friday, U.S. President Donald Trump confirmed that he decided to cancel strikes on Iranian targets such as radar and missile batteries after he was told that 150 people might die from the strikes. Trump initially authorized retaliatory attacks on a handful of Iranian targets after an unmanned U.S. military drone was shot down on Iran. VOA's Zlata Hoke has the details.
Go ahead. Talking to reporters during a meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, Trump said Iran's shoot-down of a U.S. drone will further complicate growing confrontation between Washington and Tehran.
I find it hard to believe it was intentional, if you want to know the truth. I think that it could have been somebody who was loose and stupid that did it.
A senior U.S. military official said it was an unprovoked attack on a U.S. surveillance asset that had not violated Iranian airspace at any time.
This attack is an attempt to disrupt our ability to monitor the area following recent threats to international shipping and the free flow of commerce.
The latest incident comes after mine attacks on 2 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States blames Iran's military for the attacks, but Tehran denies any involvement. Iranian officials did confirm downing the U.S. drone. Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said in a tweet Thursday that Iran does not seek war but will defend its territory. The United States is not eager for another war either.
I don't think the president wants to go to war. There's no appetite for going to war in our country.
But some Republicans say Iran may force Washington to use military force.
If next week they go back into enrichment, putting them back on a path to a bomb, which they were on anyway, then that escalates the tension between Israel and Iran. If they do anything else against an American asset, and this president doesn't respond like Ronald Reagan, then that's a signal to North Korea and the entire world we're all talk.
Iran has said it will boost its uranium production in the next few days if it does not get relief from U.S.-imposed sanctions. U.S. lawmakers say Iranian leaders are getting desperate.
The Ayatollah is lashing out, trying to provoke us. It's clear he's not going to get much help from Europe. And I just think we need to continue what we're doing.
Tensions between the United States and Iran have built up since last year after Trump abandoned an international deal with Iran aimed at halting Iran's nuclear development. Trump wanted more guarantees that Iran could not produce nuclear arms, and he added a demand that Iran must stop sponsoring terror groups in the region. Zlatica Hoke, VOA News, Washington.
It's Music Makers Friday, and joining us now is Africa 54 host of Music Makers, Heather Maxwell. Heather, I can't wait to hear what you have with this duo.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Good evening and happy Friday. You know, I'm always looking for great African music for my radio show and my YouTube channel. Well, last week, I discovered an exciting sister-cousin duo from Zambia. I decided to make it my song of the week. So let's watch as Kwame Ofori and I present Oh My Love by Davaos. Hello, hello, everybody. This week, our song of the week is from Zambia, and it's called Oh My Love. Yes, by a sister-cousin duo named called Davaos. This is the first time we've played any music by Davaos, and we're excited to be able to play it and to represent Zambia. So let's just get right into the song.
Jump straight into it.
Yes. It's a really sort of natural depiction of village life and love. It seems pure and sweet and simple. These two ladies can sing.
Oh, yes.
I love the way they sound. It's strong. It's a sure shot kind of singing. It's beautiful.
And it definitely came in strong with that, like from the beginning of the song, like, boom.
Yep.
And it's interesting to note that in their bio, this is what they say. They say, we sing, this is Davaos. We sing, we dance, we entertain, and we perform. And that is definitely what they've been doing for a very long time in Zambia. In 2015, they were nominated by the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, Born and Bred Music Video Awards, and they were nominated in the category for Best Upcoming Female Artist.
Their sisters, one is named Anivao, and the other is Dalivao. That's how they came up with Davao, I think. I haven't asked them.
Quite creative, but I think that's it.
Yeah, but they didn't grow up together. They grew up in different towns, different parts of Zambia, and they came together around 2007, and ever since they've been this fabulous duo.
And they are very young. I mean, Anivao is 28,
yeah,
and Dalivao, is 24. Very, very young, and they are already hanging out with big Zambian stars,
yeah,
big producers, trying to get their music out there.
Yeah. Oh my, oh my love. Oh my love, oh my love.
Yeah, so that's Music Maker Friday. For more Music Time in Africa, be sure to listen to my hour-long radio program Saturdays and Sundays on FM and shortwave, or you can listen online anytime at voanews.com. Just search for Music Time in Africa. And please follow me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Twitter, which is Music Time Africa, Instagram at MTIA Maxwell, and Facebook at Music Time in Africa. Esther, back to you.
Heather, I'm curious to know what the duo is up to next in the next couple of months. Are they working on something else?
They actually just released another song. So this, I think, will be their second single release in 2019, and it's amazing. I just had a minute to listen to just a bit of it. It's very exciting. This group, I really love them, and I think Zambia loves them for many reasons, a few of which are they're cousins, they're women, they're strong and powerful, and they're really making Zambia proud in the contemporary urban music scene. So check them out. Check out their new CD, their new single, and we'll see what else they have in store. Hopefully I'll be going to Zambia soon, and
Heather,
I'll try to meet them.
Yeah, we'll look forward to listening to them again. Heather, thanks so much for that upbeat music. Join Heather Maxwell again next Friday for another Music Makers segment right here on Africa 54. And that's our show for today. From all of us here in Washington, have a great weekend.